wake up at 4 o'clock at my highest frequency. If you're not waking up at your highest frequency, if you're unattentive, want to fall back asleep, then you're not sleeping right. You're either going to bed too late or you're not hitting deep sleep. You got to have sleep advice, sleep coaching, sleep mentoring. You have to study sleep. Whatever you can do, there's a ton of information. There's great products out there that help you sleep. I've had the cold sheet guys, the heavy sheet guys, the muse, meditation for sleep, all kinds of great products out there. Be more interested than interesting. You're not sleeping well if you are not full attentive for your yoga first thing in the morning. Is faking happy the same thing as being happy? Well, I believe in the false enthusiasm drills, right? And to get things started, it's a form of motivation. Fear can motivate you. Fake being happy can motivate you, get you started, get you restarted, get you up, get you back up. Fear, fake motivation, whatever you can, but it's not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. You have to, after being motivated, getting up, getting started, getting restarted, getting back up, you need to convert that energy. Albeit if it's a soul-sucking energy, it doesn't matter. You need to convert that energy into inspiration. You need to utilize that energy to clear away all the interference and corrosion between you and that great source of love, light, and lessons, that great source of power. Just like Bob Proctor taught me, I have enough power just in my pinky to light up all of Manhattan. If I'm connected to all that power, how am I utilizing it to come through me for others? There has to be some deficiencies, some interference, some corrosion to what we're doing. Next question. Keep them coming. Remember, David at D Meltzer, you can .com, 949-298-2905. You can get all this for free. The books, the questions, the question guide of how to ask questions, what to ask. Next question. What would you say if someone told you that you are an overnight success? I tell them the lily pond story, that there are no overnight successes. Most successes take 17 and a half years. And normally it'll take approximately 10 segments in order to get to 25% of the way there, another 5 segments to get to 50%, and the last 2.5 segments to get to 100% of the way there. There is no such thing as an overnight success. You are like a lily on a lily pond, and whatever period or segment it takes to double, your goal is to make the next segment take less time. Whatever amount of segment it takes you to double. So if I'm one lily on a lily pond and it's supposedly going to take me 20 doubles to get to fill the entire lily pond, and it takes me 1 year in the first segment, I want to try to make it 11 months in the second, 10 months in the third, 9 in the fourth. What confuses people about the lily pond analogy or example about overnight success is that if I asked you and told you it would take you 20 years to get to where you want to be that success, and I asked you when do you think you'll be halfway there, most people say 10 years. Unfortunately, it's 19 years. And to get 25% of the way there, it's 18 years if things keep doubling. Now, we want to not only have that compound interest, that aggregated effect, that accelerated growth, but we want accelerated time. We supposedly should be getting better at what we do, so it should take us not only less time to get there than the segmentation, so each segment will take less time. Great question, by the way. What opportunities, keep them coming, Q&A section's filling up, terrific. What opportunities do you see in the post-COVID world? How are they different from before? So with big change comes big opportunity. So I see big opportunity. And what those opportunities for me are those that are aligned, supplementary, and synergistic to my capabilities. So I look at my capabilities. What skills do I have? What knowledge do I have? What knowledge of people do I have? And what desire do I have? Right? With great change comes great opportunity to desire something else, to be a hypocrite, to take inventory of your values and take a time of pause to take inventory and maybe shift your desires and be that hypocrite so that you can align and make supplementary and synergistic your capabilities to what? What's doing well right now. That is aligned. There's so many things that are doing well right now that you could do. There's so many things that are stable right now that you could do. Or if you're an entrepreneur and a gambler, or you just like the excitement, see what things the pendulum has swung too far one way, because you know with the energy, emotion, and emotion, if it swung too far the one way, it's been oversold. sold, and you can buy it. And then allow it to come overbought. So align your capabilities. Take inventory of your values, skills, knowledge. Not only knowledge of what you have, but who you know and the desire. See what's synergistic and supplementary, that's doing well, doing stable, and that may have a large pendulum swing post-pandemic era. Next question, do we discover our purpose by pursuing our passions? We discover our passion for a purpose by pursuing our what, right? That's how it's developed. You got to know your what. You got to have clarity, balance, and focus that gives you confidence in your what, aligned with the personal, experiential, and giving and receiving values that you have. Know your what. And then through pursuing your what with passion, purpose will arise. Right? Everybody knows their why is to help somebody or something. That why to help somebody or something, the things may change, the someones may change, but it's always to be of value of service and to allow someone to be of value of service of us. Great questions, by the way. Keep them coming in the Q&A section. I will give you a guide on how to ask questions, what questions to ask, all for free. My book, free. Just go ahead, email me, david@dmeltzer.com, or join my text community, 949-298-2905. I'm of service, would love you to join. I've got an extra $12,000 in my emergency fund. If you were me, how would you leverage that to maximize the return? I would keep it liquid at this time. I believe that there will be more opportunities 6 months or 12 months from now than there are today. Taking time to study opportunities are always in your favorite, to be more interested than interesting. So there's always more opportunities. You know, I have gone through, and all great mentors will tell you, especially when it comes to home shopping, that was our dream home. Oh, we lost it. That was our dream church. Oh, we lost it. That was my dream. And then something better comes. Right? Pain, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, financial pain, when we lose something and know, is just like an indicator that we're moving in the wrong direction. We need to move in the right direction for more value, etc. Keep the questions coming. Here we go. What is your definition of happy? Can you truly always be happy? My definition of happy is the enjoyment of, right? The enjoyment of, which is created by the lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. The enjoyment of, the consistent, every day, persistent, without quit, pursuit of my potential. Not your potential, not what other people want for me, what I'm voting for me to be elected in my life, my potential. And if I can enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of what I want, my potential, and it can vary and it can change and it can be multiples, but I need to enjoy that pursuit. And can we be happy all the time? No, but what we can do is practice getting back to center, practice ending fear, so that when we're not happy, instead of being unhappy for years, like I know many people to be, instead of being unhappy for months, which I know many people to be, instead of happy being for days and hours weeks and hours, minutes, you can actually practice and build the muscle of happiness so that you can get back to center within moments. But you should, the majority of the day, be capable of being happy. And everybody has a different quantum potential of happiness either. Some people are born with the happiness genes and a perspective of finding the light, the love, and the lessons. And other people are challenged through their quantum inherited genes in order to effectuate a chain, to break that chain and make the change to perceive what you want to perceive. Do you believe in destiny? I believe in destiny. I believe that there's a combination of currencies that allow us to coincidentally achieve our destiny. And there's a mathematical equation of destiny or luck for me. And that mathematical equation is, one, what we pay attention to, what we focus in on, get clarity and balance on, get confident in, and give our intention to, starting to think it, say it, believe it, do it. Even the quantum memory that I was talking about earlier, aligning our personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions, all towards that attentive thing we were looking at and focused in on with clarity, balance, and focus and confidence. Attention plus intention equals destiny. mathematical luck, mathematical equation to coincidence, luck, and destiny. I believe in it. Pay attention to, give attention to. Another word for that equation is study. That's why I have you study your calendar. I'd like feedback on a blog idea for boomers. Big market. Empty yesters, people saying yes to the second chapter of their life. Yeah, you could do a great blog on that. I'd love to give you feedback on it, but I don't believe in retirement. I believe in repurpose, right? Repurpose yourself, re-engineer yourself, remember yourself, all of those different things. Would love to see the blog itself. Remember, there's a million great ideas out there. But until we see the frequency, until we see the actual materialization, until we see the execution plan, the marketing, the community, the reach, the strength of the signal, all the different things that we see. So many people email me, hey, I got a great idea. What do you think? I think it's a great idea. Right? But send me an executive summary or business plan. Send me some quantitative analysis of the reasons why this is a good idea, why it is impactful, and what are the capabilities you have or you need in order to effectuate that execution on the idea of a boomer's blog, of the re-engineering blog, of the repurposing blog. Keep the questions coming. I'll give you my free guide, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Reach out. You can get my free book at the same as well. We sell smart home solutions, and I would love to have your opinion if it is a good idea to stick to one good solution, even if it's a little expensive than others, and market it, or have many options for a low price to an expensive one. Well, I prefer to have a low, medium, and high priced solution to meet everyone's budget. And I want to make sure that you can articulate the value for all three, the low, the medium, and the high. So work on making sure, one, all three are credible. Number two, that you can have the emotional attachment for the low, medium, and high. Three, that you're able to articulate the value that would be more for this smart home solution than what the people spend. You need to be able to articulate, hey, give me $100,000, I'll give you $200,000 of value back. Can you see any reason you won't want to move forward? And the only way you get there is to ask questions, which is why you're going to get the guide on how to ask questions. Open-ended, closed-ended, summary. So you can say, from what you've told me, can you see any reason you won't want this mid-priced smart home? I also like to have all three options because you can start with the best and work your way down, or start with the bottom and work your way up when people have other capabilities that they need. Your choice. Either way, you're going to need to articulate the value with an emotional connection and the maximal credibility you could have. If you're 100% credible, you'll get 100% of the sales, no matter what you say. So make sure that you have gone through your articulation with a fine-tooth comb of credibility, making sure you haven't oversold, back-end sold, manipulated, lied, or cheated in any way, and created an energy or a focus in on looking for void, shortages, and obstacles or skepticism, and making your job harder. All right, next question. Fill them up in the Q&A. David@dmeltzer.com. Free books, free guides. I will help you out with this. What should you do if you know your job is not aligned with your purpose, but you're not yet ready to take your business full time? I'll tell you what you do. Use the Meltzer kaleidoscope. Number one, get a lens of productivity. See how much value you can provide for what you do right now. Make the passion happen, right? Use that. How much value am I providing? Then use the lens, the bifocal lens, by the way, of accessibility. How accessible am I to my customers, to my management, to my executives, to my cohorts? How accessible am I? And more importantly, what is it I want out of this job? It may just be money right now so I can go build a business. It may be something else, but what is it that I want to access? And then finally, most importantly, use that lens of gratitude. There's a percentage of suck in everybody's job. I've been blessed to work with the biggest celebrities, athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, billionaires in the world. And all of us have the exact same percentage of suck in our lives that you have. The difference is we utilize a lens of gratitude because we find the light, the love, and the lessons in that suck. And that's what you got to do in your current position full time, is use the lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. Find the light, love, and lessons in the suck and learn to love what you do. Not which will allow you to have more options to do things, different things in the future. Next question. Fill up the Q&A. It's filling up. Great job. How do you scale a business? 3 stages of scaling a business. 1, the learning stage, right? We have to learn. So that's the alignment stage. We have to learn and get to break even. That's my monetary advice on scaling a business is 1, learn as much as you can to break even. Then execution phase on how do we scale to grow multiples, that lily pond example. And then finally, the 3rd stage of scaling is an equity stage. How can we create an annuity for the individuals that have built this business or the public or whoever else it may be? Learning stage, execution stage, and equity stage. If you want a guide on scaling a business, I will send that to you as well. David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. What are the top 3 things you think people need to help in? What are the top 3 things you think people need help in the coming 5 years? Thanks. Mindset, heart set, and stomach set. In the next 5 years, so for the last 13 and a half years, we've only seen a growing economy, which means that most people about 35 and under have never been challenged, which is why I distinctly talk about toughness and telephone, another guide that I can give you about how to have the emotional toughness that you need and how to use a telephone, which is what people will need. But you will need the right mindset, the right heart set, and the right stomach set. You will need to know what you are in control of. You'll need to take inventory of those values. You'll need to know emotionally, heart-wise too, where it's aligned with that logic and reason. And then finally, you need intuition. We're going to need to trust and blend the currency of money and objective energy you put into the flow to get what you want with the currency of faith. And you're going to need to blend that in your own and vote for what you want in the next 5 years and elect it. There's going to be huge opportunities. You can smile through the struggles right now, but there is big changes that are happening. There's so much acceleration because of what has happened. Acceleration in the workforce, the education, the politics, the financial, every single area. And if you don't think that's going to give you these huge opportunities, if you have the right mindset, the right heart set, and the right stomach set, that's what we got to do. More than happy to help people. This is what these trainings are about, is getting you the right headset, heart set, and stomach set. Who are your mentors and why? Well, I have different mentors at all times. 3 mentors minimum is my rule, which means I always am focused on 3 potentials. And once I have a potential or a what, I find out who has my what. And so, those mentors. One on the entrepreneurial side is a gentleman named Dave McCourt. He wrote a book called Rethink, mentor on rethinking all of these big institutions. And he has some big business and big ideas, and just blessed to have Dave McCourt in my life. Dr. Meeta Singh, she is the sleep coach for MLB, NFL. She's an extraordinary sleep coach. Although I used her much more when I was flying 200 days, it's just great to have her there to allow me to try out certain products, certain philosophies for a third of my life, which is spent sleeping. And then always my mom is a mentor of mine, which I've needed her more than ever. She's the mentor for me on educating and raising my children, because we are forced to educate our children at home. And my mom has over 50 years experience in education, as well as raising 6 kids successfully as a single mom, an incredible woman. My mom is my mentor in how to do that, how to build those values, how to allow my children to come through me, not for me. And I want to once again, without choking up, I hope, thank my mother. She's an extraordinary mentor. But you should have always at least 3 mentors at all times, people that sit in. The easiest way to get what you want is to go find somebody that has it and ask them for it, or ask them to teach you. Ask them to be real time. When I do my executive coaching, it's not just scheduled calls. It's the real time being on call that helps. Just like my mom, I can call her and say, hey, my 19-year-old's doing this. What would you do? And boom, 6 kids of experience over 50 years, 50 classrooms, teaching, being a principal. She's pretty knowledgeable on the best and most statistical success. And one area of my life I don't want to pay dummy tax in is raising my children. And so I would rather leverage the experience of the expert, the PhD of raising children, my mom. How do you practice ending fear? All right, I got a new practice ending fear story. I'm not going to use my daughter in her car. So for me, it's a 4-step process to practice ending fear. It's the greatest practice that we can use in our whole life, because when we're in ego-based consciousness or fear, we accelerate in the wrong direction. In other words, we create voids, shortages, and obstacles farther and farther away from where we want to be. And this happens every day. And it almost happened to me yesterday morning. The first step is to identify identify what is ego-based consciousness for us. Now, some of the things I have in my ego-based consciousness is the need to be right. I've wasted so much time, emotion, and energy, resources needing to be right. A need to be offended, a need to be resentful, just a need to be separate or inferior or superior, angry, frustrated, worried, guilty. All of these different needs, if I aggregated all the time, emotion, energy that I use to accelerate in the wrong direction, oh my goodness, would I have so much more productivity, accessibility, and gratitude in my life. It would be incredible. But yet I'm human. So number one, every day I identify times when I'm in ego-based consciousness, and I have to be ferocious about what? Stopping. Why? Because when we're in ego-based consciousness, when we're angry, worried, frustrated, etc., our minds, our body, and our soul are on fire. If you are on fire, you got to stop, drop, and roll. So that's exactly what I do for the last 3 steps. Is 1, I'm ferocious about stopping when I'm about to accelerate in the wrong direction. I then breathe through my nose, out through my mouth after I stop, and I drop down to center, to that higher frequency, to a place of rationality where I can move in the right trajectory and roll ferociously back where I want to be in a much shorter amount of time. I'll give you a quick example. I hope no one's eating, but I woke up in the morning to do my business, and I sat down, and my wife had used the restroom earlier, maybe about 3 o'clock. It's now on my systematic 4 o'clock schedule, and the toilet paper is gone, and there's no more toilet paper. And I immediately go into ego-based consciousness of complete frustration and anger. And I'm about to scream at my wife at 4 in the morning and go ahead and attack her, put judgments and conditions on her. In other words, I was about to accelerate way off into the wrong trajectory, which would have, trust me, ended and wasted so much time, resources, and money for reuniting during the day, or hopefully by the time the day had ended. And all of us had been there, maybe not the same circumstances of the do. But nonetheless, I stopped. And I said to myself, all this anger, would it be easier just to penguin walk down the hall and get some toilet paper instead of yelling at your wife at 4 in the morning? Wouldn't it have a more positive result? And I breathed, and I went ahead and I fixed the situation. I never even mentioned it to my wife. Hopefully she's watching this here today. But it saved me. This is a little thing, right? Wife not putting more toilet paper there, leaving you hanging. But it ends up way down here. I've been married 23 years. These little things can end up doing that. So you got to stop, drop, and roll. No pun intended. Not TP roll, but roll in the right trajectory. Very, very great questions. All right, here we go. Fill up the Q&A. Get the free guides. Just email me which one you want. Ego guide, pitch guide, the questions guides from today. Doesn't matter. I'll send them to you for free. I'll send you my book for free. You can register for free. Just come david@dmeltzer.com or join my text community, 949-298-2905. 949-298-2905. What do you feel was the best type of business investment you ever made as an entrepreneur? That's a great question. The best investments as an entrepreneur was when I bought things that were oversold. When I went and asked an expert for 30 or 40 years in the space and said, hey, I'm thinking about buying this. Is this oversold? And if I buy it, will you tell me when it's overbought? Now, I never hit the very bottom and I've never hit the very top. But when I started using that strategy of what, finding the person with what, asking them to give me the what or teach me how to get the what, tell me when it's oversold or overbought, the margins just increased. I called it the margins of millionaires. And so the best type of business investment is simple buying and selling, buying low and selling high, and leveraging experts of 30 or 40 year within the position to let you know when it's low, not the lowest, but low, and when it's high. Two things need to be known in order to do that. Great lessons of entrepreneurship. One is you need, before you invest, to know your timing. And two, before you invest, you need to know your risk tolerance. So many people make investments and they don't think about time or risk tolerance. So many people, right? They let the emotional aspect of being oversold, back end sold, manipulated, lied to, and cheated in order to effectuate an investment, and they haven't even asked the hard questions because they're not focused in on the two most important things when you make an investment: time and risk tolerance. I can't tell how many people have invested and never say, so, when will I see that return on investment? When will it be able to be liquid? How much risk is there? Right? These are questions you need to ask. Time and risk tolerance. Buy low, sell high. Does not have to be complicated. Raise your awareness. Find the easy things to do with your existence. How does Theta meditation work? So Theta, Theta, meditation is based off of one thing: vibration or frequency. It's changed my life because I believe you can only be aware of to that which vibrates equal to or less than you. You can only be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than you. Therefore, Theta meditation allows me to elevate my vibration on the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious continuum. It allows me to raise my vibration of my cells, of my mind, of my subconscious mind, and of my unconscious DNA. There's an electric strand that runs through your DNA, by the way. That's that quantum electricity that we talk about. So for me, I utilize 20 minutes of Theta meditation to elevate my awareness, raise my frequency and vibration so that things are easier for me, that I can take highly complex things and transcode them into simplicity. And hopefully, in my mission to empower over 1 billion people, articulate that effectively into value. My main mission, to be of value, of service, and to ask for help. Help that I'm asking now is, hey, get all the books, guides, everything from me. Bring your friends, family, associates to these trainings. They're all free. David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Next question. Keep them coming, by the way. Section for fitness, parenting adult children, parenting our parents, etc. Not sure if that's a question. I might have missed something there. Section for fitness, parenting adult children, parenting our parents. Those are great topics. How are you staying positive in these days of COVID? I am doing 5 things to stay positive during these things. Write these down. I also can send them to you. David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. All right, here you go. Number 1, take inventory of my values and not be afraid of being a hypocrite. There's so much compressed uncertainty, so much acceleration of change. I'm not afraid of changing or reweighting or reprioritizing my values, but there's always an inventory every day of my personal experiential giving and receiving values. I am asking and attracting in person, on the phone, via email and media, radio, print, TV, and social media every single day as much as I can. I'm asking how I can be of service or value, utilizing this guide that I'm going to give you for free of how to ask these questions, how to ask open-ended questions to learn exactly how you align your capabilities, and then leading questions to see if they're of value to them. And then summarize those so that you get that meeting of the mind, so you can ask them, from what you told me, would you like to do this? And then more importantly, do you know anyone that can help me? Nobody is a gatekeeper, especially during this time. Everybody is a sponsor and a power sponsor. So ask them in person, on the phone, via email, social media, all media. Do you know anyone that can help me? Radio, print, TV, doesn't matter. Do you know anyone that can help me? Or can you help me? And do you know someone that can help me? Third, student. Attention plus intention equals coincidence, right? The mathematical equation of luck, of destiny. Study with the lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. What you have planned, what you don't have planned, and sleep. Fourth, my favorite, because I get to tell my joke about statistics. I used to think there was only one statistic true in America, or in the world, sorry. 99% of all statistics are made up. I then started playing golf and realized that 100% of all short putts don't go in. Now I have my third gem, just like the Indiana greats. My third gem is 100% of the things I do now get done. And successful people get things done. So do things now. If you can't do them now, put them in your calendar for tomorrow and prioritize them by what's most important first, by what you have planned for that day. Do things now, number 4. And then finally, we already addressed it, the toilet paper story, practice ending fear. Those are the 5 things. Take inventory of values, ask and attract, student your calendar, do it now, and practicing ending fear. That's the way that you stay positive with those lenses to find the light, the love, and the lessons. Remember, pain, a lot of people are feeling pain right now, is just an indicator of mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial pain, an indicator that you have a better direction to go. Just like a GPS, turn the little chain signal, it's signifying something. Oh, there's a better way to go. You know, that lady on GPS is telling you, turn right here. There's an accident up there. That's it. That's exactly what pain is. It's that lady on your GPS. She's a pain. All right. What is the best way to reach high wealth individuals for nonprofit endeavors? Provide value. What I have found is those nonprofit endeavors that are able to illustrate value of how they have, not only with credibility and emotional connection, but quantifiably with these reasons, impacts, and capabilities, we're able to, create value, save lives, give food, whatever it is, and then find those people that are aligned with those same values. And you got to ask and attract. Do you know anybody can help me? Do you know nobody can help me? Do you know nobody and can help me? And it's okay that not everybody is a high net wealth individual, because we have the aggregate effect of 4.4 billion people on the internet. And, sometimes it's better to get 1,000 people with $1,000 than one person with $1 million. But I go after both. Hi, David. Love to hear you dig deeper on if you have the need to be. Will you give some examples? Thanks. So the most common denominator I find with entrepreneurs and athletes, by the way, is that they have a need to be what they must be. And when I say that, it's something that is developed over time. It's something that may be quantum or born into them and then developed over time and enhanced and accelerated and grown. But every person with the spirit of excellence that has the overachiever mentality, the Black Mamba mentality, whatever you want to call it, has this common thread that they wake up in the morning and they must be what they can be. They must enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of their potential. They must have a lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. They must be of service and of value. They must be kind. They must be and do good deeds. They must. Just like they must eat. Just like they must go to the bathroom. They must be what they can be and pursue their potential. Because it just aggregates. Like I said and started, action is energy in motion. It's an emotion. That's inspiration. Inactivity is nothing but a formula. So if you don't have to be what you must be, and you sit around all day, high on your mom's couch, sick, broke, and dreaming about what you want, remember, I learned this from Dr. Beckwith this week. Remember, a dream, a vision with no action, right? A vision with no action, just a dream. Action with no vision is chaos. So let's make sure that we must be what we can be and are moving towards. Let's not sit around broke, high, sick on our mom's couch dreaming about what we want and becoming inactive, which just creates boredom, creates laziness. It aggregates and compounds its interest in the exact same way that the acceleration and growth does for those people that must be what they can be, like you. Okay, put more questions in there. Remember, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Everything's free. Please just reach out. How do you keep your focus on goals? What techniques do you use to keep distractions at bay? Well, one, knowing how distractions happen help keep distractions at bay. The first thing is you got to know your goal. So know your what, prioritize your what by your values every single day. You're taking inventory of your values, personal, experiential, giving and receiving values. So you take your what of the day, not being afraid of being a hypocrite, changing your mind, reweighting your values, all of those things. But the core of this question is, how do you keep distractions at bay? So if you're able to find your what and prioritize your what, you have to understand how distractions occur. Number one, you can only focus in on one thing at a time. Now, you may say, come on, Dave, you multitask best as anybody. I can multitask. I've seen people. Yeah. So let's understand multitask. I'm focused in on doing this, and then there's a distraction. How quickly can I get back to this? And so it seems like I'm multitasking because I can go back and forth so quickly. Now, in the same respect, the same muscle that allows me to go back and forth so quickly and seem as if I can multitask and do 2, 3, 4 things at once, which is a muscle, which takes practice, is the same muscle that it takes to look at something that's a distraction with no value, that does not need to be incorporated into the subjective value of multitasking, but instead, shiny light, oh, not interested, back. Right? Shiny light, interested, back and forth, multitasking. Shiny interest, not interested, just go back. So when you understand the distractions and you understand your what, it answers that question quite clearly. Number one, you got to make sure that your what's and your goals are all aligned with your values, and then you got to build the muscle, the practice, just like working out, of being able to move your focus from one thing to another and then evaluate it quickly, because if the one thing that you move to is not valuable, then get off of it. If it is valuable, then you can multitask with it by using the exact same muscle. How do you continue to grow your brand right now? Okay, this is my lesson for the week. If you want to grow your brand, what I've learned, and it's not what Gary Vee has told me for 3.5 years, it's what I hear. And every time I talk to him, Dave, you need more content. You need more content. You need more content. You need more content. Keep practicing giving your frequency, your content, but you need more. You need more. What I've learned about building your brand is that if you truly want to build your brand, then you need to put more content than you ever dreamed of that represents your organic, authentic, credible frequency, yourself. Now, here's the problem. If you do it right, those people who love you already, who like you already, who don't like you, you're going to annoy the crap out of. They're not going to like you. They're not going to like it. And you're going to have to get laughed at, scoffed at, made fun of, people judgment and conditions and attacking you, going, what is he thinking? I get an email every day. I get videos every 6 minutes. Look, number one, either manage the expectations of people that love you and like you already, that you're doing this to reach more people, to empower over 1 billion people to be happy, or whatever your gig is. Please manage their expectations. Or if you can't, then just unsubscribe your people who love you and like you already. Don't unsubscribe the people who don't like you. Those are the gold, right? For me, there's that book my boy Steve wrote, right? Do not take yes for an answer. I love the people that either I am not clearly articulating what I'm saying to, or they just don't agree with me, or they don't like me. I love it, right? I immediately give them my cell phone and say, hey, reach out to me so I can learn something. I can't learn from somebody, and I appreciate everybody. Oh, you're great. I can't learn anything. But I can learn how I'm not articulating my value, or why there's a separation between me and somebody else. So don't get rid of the people that don't like you. When you're building your brand, find your frequency, strengthen the signal, find that spectrum of people that it resonates with, clarify the message all through what? Practicing, and posting and writing and videoing and everything that you can do, as much content as you can. The only people that you have to worry about are the ones that will laugh at you, scoff at you, make fun of you, and those are the people that already like you and love you. And they will. So you got to figure out if I'm going to manage their expectations or I'm going to unsubscribe them. Very important if we're going to build a brand today. I draw up the game plan, I set my target, I warm up my mind with reading and exercise, but still can't reach the productivity level I'm searching for. What are some ways to increase my productivity? I am in the same boat. My goal is to be 1% better. My goal is to be able to be better tomorrow. I am the CBO of my life. I'm the chief betterment officer of my life. I just want to get better. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. I'm going to practice. I'm going to live with that desire. I'm going to increase my skills, increase my knowledge of what I'm doing, as well as the knowledge of who I know. Those people who already have the what, that can give me the what or teach me to get the what. These are all the things that we do in order to effectuate increasing your productivity. Note that you need to utilize inventory of your values, asking and attracting, studying your calendar, doing it now, and practicing ending fear to do so. You need to have gratitude, empathy, accountability, and inspiration. You need to have the lenses of productivity in mind of how much value that you are providing, so you have a quantitative analysis of that increase, as well as the lens of accessibility. How many more people am I accessible to, and how am I accessing what I want, which is an acceleration factor that occurs. And then most importantly, to enjoy it, you need to have the lens of gratitude. Not only say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up, but most importantly, an attitude or a lens of finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that you do. Find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything you do. Here's the biggest irony of all the lessons that I've had so far, is that there's an old book, everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten. I say BS. You learned it before that. There's only two things you need to know. I can speak here for hours and give you great detail on how to scale a business and ask questions and, finance and buy low, sell high, whatever it is. But there's two things I want you to take away. And it's two things that I learned from, I think, my grandma when I was born and finally could speak. She told me, if you would like something, you need to ask. And you need to say thank you. You cannot out-ask the universe. You cannot out-ask the people, the emails, the text, the social media, the radio, print, TV. You can't out-ask it. So ask. If you want something and you know what it is, ask for it. And then guess what? Say thank you. Live graciously. Say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up. The number one comments that I get from thousands of people of how I've changed your life is either they told me, oh my gosh, I started asking and you're not going to believe it, I got it. And two, I said thank you every single day for 30 straight days, and my life has changed. It's amazing. I can find the light, the love, and the lesson. Pain is just an indicator in my life. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial pain. Just an indicator. That's all it is, Dave. Thank you. Please ask for more. And I'm asking you to ask more questions in the Q&A. Please put those in there. Please reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. Get your free book, your free guides. Register. Please bring your friends, family for these trainings. We love it. My text community, join that, 949-298-2905. Join my text community. It's an amazing place that we all share great information and you have access one-on-one to me. And yes, it is me. So if you want to text me, is this really you? You're going to get a voice message going, hey dude, it's really me. Congratulations, you just increased my productivity. All right, anyway, get back to questions. Fill up the Q&A. How do you set your goals according to my values? I take inventory of my values. I'm ready to start hiring a team to better leverage my time. Tips on where to start, executive assistant, etc. All right. This is a great time to build a team. There has never been, in the last 13 years, more great talent, overqualified people available. And so what you want to do is list out the capabilities that have a quantitative value that you're looking for. So if you need a great editor, if you need someone that knows graphic arts, if you need someone that can negotiate, if you need salespeople, high ticket item salespeople, whatever it is, you want to make sure you're looking down those capabilities and then finding somebody that's overqualified. Do not have a standard of qualified anymore. In this economy, in this day and age right now, with the unemployment being where it's at, you better be looking for overqualified, right? Overqualified with fair pay, incentive-based pay. That's what we want to do. And they're out there, but you got to know what skills. You can't just say executive assistant, right? If you need someone to do, your laundry or what, figure it out. Go ahead, list it out, and then find what capability, skills, knowledge, and most importantly, find someone who's overqualified with an extraordinary desire that they must be what they can be. Who knows how they'll change your life and your business. There's a huge pool of overqualified people right now. Let's go hire them. You have a huge opportunity of knowledge of who you know. Please, give me more questions like that. Those are great. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. What is the best way to begin consulting? looking to help consult on the e-commerce retail side, big market. This is and will continue to be massive growth here. Yes. And I feel like I could offer value for small startups in the space. Well, the best way to start any type of consulting is to get one client and make them profitable. So, when I consult, whether it's even my private group training or my one-on-one coaching, consulting, business advisory, I only work month to month. I guarantee everything I do with one criteria, profitability, right? I want to make sure that I'm profitable. I want to provide $100 and take 20 for it and guarantee it. And as a consultant, you got to get one client and keep them and make them profitable. And then use that client as an example and ask them to get you other clients. Everyone's going to want to hire you when you guarantee profitability and you're able to do that. Right? Guarantee quantitative value. And if you're, some type of obscure, business or offering, learn to quantify it by asking questions, by being more interested than interesting. What are you doing today? What do you like about it? What don't you like it? Well, how many hours a day does that take you? Right? When you can't quantify something, if it's not a straightforward, sales, I've increased your sales, $100,000, each month, you should pay me $20,000. That's terrific. But you can get to those numbers of how you increase things. How much time, right? How many resources were used? What are you paying to do that today? Oh, I could do that for this. These are all margins of millionaires. These are all margins that are made of profit. These are all areas that people don't articulate quantifiable value. Did you have a mentor in your 20s, and if so, who? I did. His name was Lou Lombardi. He was executive vice president at West Publishing. But I did not have a good handle on mentorship. Mike Bosworth of Solution Selling was a mentor, but it wasn't a structured mentor. I have structured mentorship and coaching. Just like I provide, I utilize and have at least 3 at all times. Best investment I make, but I make my coaches as well. Guarantee profitability, right? I guarantee. Same way. I'm not going to lock them in. They're not going to lock me in. You want to do the same thing. I wish I would have had some of this radical humility of asking for help, hiring mentors when I was young. I wish. It would have been much better. I could have taken the money that I paid for just one of the houses that I owned in my 20s, put it into self-development and growth and one-on-one mentorship. I'd have rather given it to Tony Robbins or Dean or one of those guys in real estate than buy one of my houses, because I would have had so much more. Because it's not just the knowledge that's shared, the dummy tax, the savings that's given, it's the relationship capitals, the spheres of influence, the upping of the frequency and vibration that puts you into a different realm, allowing you to swim in a different circle and become the aggregate of what you're swimming with. That's the true value of that mentorship. It's true value of what I'm able to provide as well. Keep on adding those questions in there. Reach out to me for these guides, for my book, to register for anything, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Thank you very much. Next question. As a young agent, how do I go about identifying young and talented players other than by physical scouting by myself? Spheres of influence. If you're looking for talent, you need to utilize the spheres of influence more than viewing that talent. You can always virtually view talent. There's plenty of film out there on your talent, but you want to talk to family members like cousins. You want to talk to high school coaches, elementary coaches. You want to get a full picture on that desire side. You want to see if they must be what they can be. Combined with what you witnessed today on the video, you'll be able to determine whether to represent that person or not. And remember, the key to being an agent, I could take away my boy Lee Steinberg, who just signed the biggest contract in the NFL with Patrick Mahomes. I used to joke around and go, why don't you just teach people the truth about agentry? There's only 2 things you got to do, right? 1, get a client. 2, keep a client. That's it. You want to be a great agent, get a client, keep a client. Keep on doing that. You'll make plenty of money and enjoy that pursuit. All right, let's keep these coming. Fill up the Q&A. David@dmeltzer.com for anything free, books, guides, exercises, as well as 949-298-2905. When you ask people, how can I help you, should you provide suggestions or just keep it open? Well, what I do, and this will be in the guide that you're going to get if you email me or text me, I ask open-ended questions. What are you doing today? Blah, 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 blah. What do you like about it? Blah, 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 blah. What don't you like it? And then I lead them with closed-ended questions. Would it help you if I did this? Knowing a capability of mine, knowing a relationship of mine, a knowledge of mine, knowing something I desire to do. Would it help you? And they say yes or no. If they say yes, terrific. Now I found out how I can help them. And it doesn't matter what level or layer, where you think your industry is aligned or misaligned with what's going on. I've had people, when I was on stage pre-pandemic, come up to me and go, I really want you to coach me, Mr. Meltzer, please, please. And I was like, well, I got free training, and I can't, but I want you to one-on-one coach me. I can't afford you. It's like, how do you know? Well, because I know, I'm a dog trainer and I don't make too much money. Oh, you're a dog trainer? What do you charge for dog training? Oh, I have a specialized thing, it's $2,500 a month and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's funny because I just got an annoying little puppy that needs to be trained. Oh, value for value. Wait, you got to ask questions, open-ended questions, and then leading questions. Would it help you? So if he would have asked me, hey, what are you doing today? We could have got a conversation. He would have said he's a dog trainer. I would have said, I just got this cute little miniature dachshund, but she's super stubborn. Oh, really? I'm a trainer. Would it help you if I trained her? Oh, would it help you if I trained you? Train for train. There you go. All right. Keep them coming. Q&A, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Whatever you need. Knowing what you know now. One thing that I know now is I don't know what I don't know. It's the best thing I know. What, if anything, would you tell your 24-year-old self to do differently? Whether I'm 25, 35, 45, or 55, I'm going to continue to tell myself one thing. Be radically humble. Ask for help. Ask for help. Do you know anybody that can help me? It's not the giving. Everyone loves to give in a variety of ways, even if you're giving with the wrong purpose, to buy things that, to impress people you don't like, or give so you can impress people you don't like, or give things, because you want something back and you want respect or honor or promotion or credibility, or it doesn't matter. Everyone has a problem receiving because they don't ask, or if they do ask, they don't ask often enough. And if they do ask often enough, I promise you one thing, they are not asking big enough, because you can't out-ask the universe. So either start asking, ask more, ask bigger, and you will get there. And that's the advice that I would give myself. I still keep on my nightstand, not just thank you, but more importantly, radical humility, reminding myself that every single person is connected to me, that a tree has no branches. One branch would not go to war against another branch. Once I learn that radical humility, I will stay out of the ego-based consciousness. I will be able to quickly stop, drop, and roll and stay into the accelerated pace of the trajectory of what I want to be in, aligned with the values that I take every single day. All right, last question. Here we go. Remember, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905 to get your free guides, your free book, register for training, whatever you need. Please reach out. What was the most enlightening challenge you've endured? The most enlightening challenge that I've endured is when I lost everything to create a new paradigm to blend the currency of money and how important money doesn't buy happiness, but it allows me to shop. And if I shop for the right things, not things I don't need to impress people I don't like, but if I shop for the right things, I'll be happy. And when I had that paradigm shift, that things come through me for others, according to my values, voting for what I wanted, when I could live with gratitude, accountability, forgiveness, and inspiration, when I allow things to come through me for others, living in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone, that was the most enlightening things. That no longer would I give to receive as a trade or negotiation. I always now receive so I can give. I receive and allow it to come through me with appreciation, gratitude, and the ability to add my capability and value to it, appreciate, add value, and give it away. I'm of service and of value to everyone here. My mission is to empower others to be happy. Over 1 billion people. I need 1,000 of you to empower 1,000 more, to empower 1,000 more. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1,000,000. 1,000,000 times 1,000 is 1 billion. And we can do this together. Please, let me give you my book for free, my guides, my training. Please, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Have a wonderful weekend. Most importantly, Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. Next week is dealing with negativity, and we have a pitch competition. Join us again. Email me at those numbers. August 28th will be our next pitch competition, the 2-minute drill. You got to check it out. Go to the playbook. You can get the replay tomorrow. On Monday, the replays will be there. The playbook, all the trainings are on there. They're all free. Have a wonderful weekend. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. Thank you so, so much.